guys, welcome back to my channel.
I was trying to do something. Go.
Today's video is going to be a story time video, and Lisa is finally going to be able to tell you guys how he feels.
Oh, about me breaking up with you?
Yeah.
You're already crying.
You mean,
Why
no, I'm laughing. I'm not crying.
Your eyes are watering.
Because I was laughing.
Should we continue or?
Shut up. We did. You guys were all interested in trying to find out why exactly we broke up, and I think you guys are trying to more figure out like why we broke up and how we managed to get back together and be where we're at today. I think a lot of people, that's like the question that I get the most, where people are always like, how's your relationship? So good, da 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 da. You know, and it's not perfect, but we definitely make it work.
Yeah, well, you're gonna go along with well, as you go in a relationship, you can go through some little speed bumps, and so it's always a job, basically, is what it is. So you got to work at it every day.
Yes. And while you guys hear this story, please don't pay attention to my anxious ass husband who can't fucking keep still when he talks. He literally like he's grabbing his legs right now for no fucking reason.
You're the one that moves your damn toes for no reason. Anyways.
Okay, yeah, so we're gonna start with our story time and why it happened. Even though I feel like there was no really reason, but we'll let you guys know exactly how it went down. So, from what you remember, how did the situation happen?
It was a cold winter day.
It was pretty cold.
Woke up with my usual routine. I text her, good morning. I didn't get a reply. And then I called her and she said that, oh, I didn't see your message. So it was already getting bad because she was just like not even really like replying to me when I would tell her stuff. So I was like, okay, whatever, we're not good.
But I don't do that right now, and we're married.
It's not about right now, it's about before. We're talking about the past right now, not about what you do now.
Okay.
Even though she still don't reply.
I still don't reply, but okay.
I don't text her past 12 now because I'm like, you don't function before 12. So that's stuff you learn though as you're married, you know?
You gotta get
habits. You learn habits, whatever. So like I said, things were already kind of like, you know, going downhill. So I think it was like December, so we were gonna make a trip to Disneyland, and I was just like, okay, like maybe that's what we need, just to kind of get away. But no, it actually turned out worse. So like when we were over there was just a bunch of like little stuff going on, and we went with some friends. So like the whole time she was already like, I don't know, since it was already rocky, like she wasn't really
so we already
being
had
near with me. Time. Yeah, like you were more with your friend, and then like, you know, I just felt kind of like I was just there, and I was just like, man, whatever.
So by this point I was already out of Stockton. I was already in the Bay Area.
Yeah,
I was living in the Bay Area.
She had just moved, I think, almost.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
So we were already having like arguments here and there. Not even arguments, but more like I was just ignoring him. The
trip was like kind of whack as far as us, you know, like how we were and stuff over there. And whatever, we get home, and then like I think that same night actually, that's when she told me like, hey, you know what, like I can't do this anymore, and then like I don't know what it is, but I just need to do me. And I was kind of like, no, what the hell. So I'm over here thinking like
Disneyland? Oh,
when we got back. So I think I FaceTimed her, and I think she told me there.
But at Disneyland, it was really bad though. Like when we were at Disneyland in general.
Yeah, exactly.
I got super drunk, and I feel like I for a long time didn't tell him like how I was feeling, and I feel like alcohol was what triggered it.
Yeah,
I was just speaking out of my ass. I was like, I don't want to be with you. I can't fucking like. I was just.
She was
being
like,
really
well, leave then. Like I don't care, type of thing, right? So I was like, fuck, I guess it really is bad. So whatever, we get back home, and then I told her like, hey, I know you were drinking, so like I don't know if you realized any of the stuff you said, but I felt like disrespected. Whatever, I explained it, and then after that, she just pretty much said like, hey, you know what, I can't do it, whatever.
And Ulises is one person who he's very good with confrontation, and I'm not. Like he always wants to talk about shit. Like he'll be like, we need to talk about it, and we're gonna talk about it in person. And like with me,
she don't want.
I don't like to talk. Like
she
I like to just bullshit off. Like I'll just send one long ass message, and I'll be like, you know what, this is how I feel, and that's it. Like I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah,
you know?
We already talked about it. I'm like, no, we did it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm over here driving and cutting hair while I'm trying to freaking write a paragraph. That's not right? So you guys gotta vote below what you guys like to do. Would you rather talk about it in person? That it could be over with real quick. And I'm not just speaking about breaking up, but just like any argument, or would you just send a message? Like I think that's dumb.
Not even a message. That's like
immature, in my opinion.
Of course, but not even a message. I think it's just more because I don't do well with how I feel in person. I'll forget. Like I feel like when I write it down, Like, I can tell you exactly how I feel because that's how I feel, and I have time to think about it. In person, like, I can't tell you everything that I feel.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, with me, like, if she tells me that, then I'll come and tell her in person instead of texting her back. Because I feel like a lot of stuff could get misinterpreted, or, like, you could take things a different way, you know? So, like, I'd rather, if I get a message from her, I'll just be like, look, I'll talk to you when I'm home. And that's it. But that's something that we worked on, you know, like, it's not like I wouldn't argue with her over the messages either, but I was just playing her game, basically, you know? Like, I was like, screw that, you gotta, you know, you gotta tell them the way you are as well and what works for you. If not, it won't work. But anyways, back to the story. So let me see. All right, so she tells me that. I think we FaceTime and she told me, but then I was like, Disneyland. Yeah, so then I was like, well, what do you mean? Yeah, after Disneyland. So I FaceTimed her, or I think I FaceTimed her and we were talking about it. And like I said, she wasn't there, so I couldn't tell her in person, so I FaceTimed her. And then I think that's when she told me, like, you know what, like, I don't want to get this going anymore. It's pretty much not the right time and all this other stuff. So then I was like, nah, you're just, you know, you don't know what you're saying. And then we kept it going, like, on that route. And then pretty much, I think I was still trying for like 2-3 days, but I think a week went by and I was just like, you know what, for sure, I think it's bad. And it's funny because it was only like 2 weeks away from Christmas, so I was already like, okay, so I already got your gift and all this other shit. So I actually sold the gift, or I returned it. I forgot which one I did, but I think I did sell it. I think I sold it to somebody.
You're ghetto.
So I sold the gift. I think it was like a bag or something. So I sold that gift and I was like, all right, whatever. So this whole time we never talked. And then it hit New Year's. And I remember at that point I was already like, I'm already single, you know? Like, you know, in the beginning when you break up, you're like, nah, they're still there. But I was already like, whatever, she don't care. So
yeah. New Year's the conversation was, though, like, at that time, it was me telling him, like, I don't know if this is what I want. And I think we were trying to see where it went and to see if it would get better. But then it got to the point, like, conversations just became less and less and less and less.
Yeah,
like, I was out doing my stuff. He was out doing his stuff.
We'd hang out and it was just to do it. And then, like, we'd drive somewhere, we wouldn't even talk. Like,
not to do it, but to, like, just hang out.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously.
It sounded like you said, we just hang out to do it.
So, like, the whole time it was just, like, I don't know, it was awkward because, like, we'd drive somewhere and she wouldn't say anything. And not even to mention the fact that she already doesn't like to talk about problems. So, it was hard, you know? It's harder to understand what they're feeling if they're not telling you, you know. So let's say where we're at right now. So New Year's.
Yeah.
So I went out that night, I remember, and I felt bad because it was my grandpa's birthday and he was here from Mexico, and then my ass is over there trying to go out and wild out because obviously, like, she wasn't with me no more. I was like, whatever. So then I went out, and then, like, I got back the next day hella drunk. I didn't know how I got back home with a few friends, and then I don't know, I think over that night I woke up and I saw her message, and it was just more like, oh, hope you've been good. Like, I don't know, I think she said something about, like, I want to talk or something. And I remember I texted her back because I went to the mall the next day because they had, like, sales going on. So then I was just like, hey, you know what, like, I know it took you a while to get back or whatever, but, like, I'm already at the point where, like, I want to move on. Like, you know, I just don't feel the same about it anymore. And that's when she was like, shit, you know. So, like, with her, she's never had that, like, going after a guy like that. So to her, it was just something new, like, shit. Like, now, I don't know, I think it made you feel different.
Yeah. I don't think necessarily that.
Something about that I felt like.
I think it was more because I knew he was serious. Like, one thing that you guys will know about Ulises is that, like, me, I mean, you guys will hear how I felt about the situation in general, but with me, I was always so used to, like, being in relationships where it was like, you break up, you go back together, you break up, you go back together, you break up, you go back together.
Yeah.
Like, that was I was used to that because that's how my relationships in the past were, where I was in very immature as relationships. So, like, I got with him and he, like, straight up was like, I'm not gonna be dealing with that bullshit. Like, either we break up and we're done.
Yeah, so I told her, like, look, I don't like playing the little, like, if you're really serious,
like, you want to go on a break to go fuck around and then you come back and you're gonna be with me. He's like, we're not gonna do that shit, you know?
Yeah, I told her if I break up with you, and I think I told her that from that point. I'm like, look, like, you should be, like, right now I'm obviously, like, after you and whatnot, but, like, the moment that I stop caring and I really don't want to get back to you, like, that's when you should be concerned, because I'm already gonna be serious at that point, because, like, I'm not gonna be playing around with that stuff. Yeah. And that's when she knew, like, shit, this guy's really not playing around. So so then after that, you know, she kept, like, texting me like, hey, you know what, like, we need, like, some type of closure, like, let me see you or whatever. And I think I went over to her, so she would come visit her family and then go back to the Bay. So one night she was there.
I think, wasn't it at Bianca's house?
You were at your friend's house, yeah. And then she told me this was that same day actually, the same day of the mall. It was that night though. So she told me to at least like let me see you or whatever, and I was like, you know what, I'll probably order that at least. Like I'll rather tell her in person. But I was already going with the same mentality. Like
he went in to tell me like I just really came to tell you that I'm done with you.
Yeah. So then
I'm over here thinking like he's gonna come talk to me and like get back with
right?
me.
So then I wasn't going in there with like, oh well, yeah, I'm gonna give in, because I really was like, dude, I'm already done. Let me just tell you.
Like in a fucking week, okay, guys.
Dude, it was like this was beginning of December, and we lasted a whole month.
It took him a week to realize he didn't want to be with me forever. Okay.
Nah, it's not that,
so
but
fast.
when she basically left me, I was just like, dude, I never did anything bad. Like, I know that she's gonna be the one that's gonna lose at the end, even if she's happy right now, because I already know everything I had offered and all the stuff I was serious about. So I was like, whatever, dude. Like, somebody else will appreciate it, right? So, so then after that, but I was already like confident about that. I was like, whatever, dude. Like, I guess
he's always been very like.
I feel like it's been like that my whole time with girls. Period. Like a lot of them were like that. So I was like, whatever. Like, you know, somebody else will see it. So so back to the story where I was going to meet her, right? So then I go meet her. So then actually she actually left, and she was already like 15-20 minutes away, and she was like, well, if you want, you could just come meet me over here. I was like, you broke up with me, you want me to go meet you where you're at? Hell no. I was like, you better drive back. So then she actually ended up driving back.
Damn, you're so like, you remember everything.
Yeah, so she lived an hour 15 minutes away. She told me you could meet me like I had to drive 40 minutes. I was like, I'm gonna drive 40 minutes to pretty much hell no. If you want to fix it, you come. So she went back. So then I went to see her, and then she went in, and then we just started talking. And I told her that, look, I already told you everything. That's how I feel, and that's how it's gonna be. Mm-hmm. And then she cried a little bit, and she was just
saw the first tear from my eyes.
So she was like, well, is that it? Like, you're just gonna leave like that? You're fucked up. You're only thinking about yourself and all this crap. And I was like, whatever, dude. Like, I already know how I feel. So she ended up walking out.
But then later on, I ended up finding out that apparently Elisa was already like hearing shit about me. So I think that also made it worse. That he was like people were just talking out of their asses and spreading rumors and like telling him stuff, right? It was like that guy, remember? And he was already like hearing shit, and I wasn't even doing anything. I genuinely I don't think I wanted to be in a relationship at that moment.
Yeah, so then after that, so there was stuff being heard, like whatever, right? So it could be anything. Like even people, when they see that, they're quick to like just start.
Like people knew that we were like not good, and it's like they were just fucking pumping that shit up.
Yeah. So then, let me see. All right. So then that goes by. So I leave, and then she goes in, and then, I just leave. So I get home, and then I was like, damn, that shit was kind of hard, you know. So I was just like, whatever. And she texted me, and she was like, dude, I can't do this. Like, I've never been this hurt before. Going through it. Like I've never felt this way. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm sorry type of shit, you know? So, like, it's funny because as much as they say, like, as much as you hear the other person tell you stuff, like, until you'll know when you really see, like, the real, like, forgiveness or, like, them really feeling, sorry. Yeah.
Did you think that I was, like, just began on my ass to, like, get back with you?
I think when you sent me that, I was like, oh, damn, you know? So it made me think about it. So before that, I wouldn't think about it because it's like there was nothing for me to like fall on, you know. Like I didn't know, like I didn't get any vibe from her really wanting to be back with me. But after that, I kind of started seeing it. So I think another week went by, and then I was still kind of ignoring her. And then I think eventually I was at work, and then she showed up to my job, and I was like, oh shit, you know.
But a week between that time when I talked to him, I think a week went by. And then remember, I was texting you and fucking texting you, and you weren't replying to me. I was like fucking going through it. I was fucking sending him pictures, like, look how cute we were, like, fucking remember that we were fucking cute.
Little videos.
Yeah, like I would fucking do the most. Stop fucking laughing.
No, just in my couch.
Yeah, and he's just over there fucking chilling, okay? And like it was literally a whole week, and then finally, I think I ended up telling Bianca, like, I need to go. Like, I need to go back to Stockton. And mind you guys, like, the drive, even though it's only an hour and a half, it's long because there's a lot of fucking traffic. Like, you can't just fucking come all of a sudden and talk to somebody
Christmas
and then come back.
Pretty much.
So I was like,
well, actually, this was already after New Year's.
Yeah.
This was already after New Year's.
This was after,
and I told her too, like when she had texted me on New Year's, like, dude, it's already a new year. Like, just keep going, whatever you're going. You already look like you're doing good. Like, leave it alone, you know.
I was like, her as fuck.
So then she went back to the shop, and then she was there, and I was like, shit. So I was cutting, and I was like, look, let me just go outside real quick.
Fucking stalker ass girl.
It was funny because it was locked too. So I was like.
I'm like, I swear to God, I like, honestly,
That was funny.
it was something to completely different for me, and I think that's kind of what like opened up my eyes and just made me realize. And you know, for him to handle things the way that he did, he's never been in like a serious relationship like that, so I think he was definitely trying to be very mature. He's always been very mature, and I think he was just fucking done with dealing with the fucking bullshit, you know what I mean? That's why it's funny to me sometimes when people are like, you know, you hang out with hella guys, or how's your husband okay with this, blah, blah. Like, you guys don't realize Ulises, like, he's all about respect, and if he feels disrespected, like, he'll fucking put me in my place. Like, he's not just gonna be there dealing with the fact that he doesn't like something or that I'm acting a certain way, you know what I mean? Like, he from day one has always made it clear, like, if you fucking do some shit to fuck shit up, like, we're done, Blanca. Like, you know, it's not gonna be this games,
because I can't be like doing something when I'm uncomfortable, you know, like that would never be cool. So I told her, I was like,
yeah. So that conversation, like, he came out, and then it was funny because when he came out, I was talking to him, and then I was like, I just can't do this, because he was like, he looked at me kind of like, you fucking came to come and see me all the way over here. And then, you know what he tells me? He was like, I was actually gonna text you today. And I was like, dude, what the fuck?
No, so she was texting me back, and I was like, look, I was actually contemplating what to tell you, but I was gonna call you actually later tonight or whatever.
Yeah, so I was like, I could have saved myself the drive, but you know what? It was good that I actually did that, because I feel like it showed him, you know, that I was actually being serious, and I wasn't just trying to,
it's all about actions and all that stuff. So
yeah,
pretty much after that we got back together.
So we ended up getting back together.
Obviously things were good right away, and then, you know, at that point you kind of have to make it like clear for sure, like, because now, you know, you're on top, so you gotta set the rules.
Oh, shut the hell up! You're
well,
dumb.
pretty much. I feel like she finally was like, okay, like, I understand what you need on your end and stuff. So we came to that like agreement, because it's like two different people no matter what. So you gotta kind of like tell them how you feel about things. Because if you hold shit in, like, it's really not gonna fucking work. But
yeah, and just as far as like the whole story, like, I feel like people wanted a reason, like, why did you guys break up and why did it happen? And I think mainly just because you guys already heard his end of it, it was all me, because I was just fucking stupid at the time. Like, and honestly, it was nothing like me talking to like other guys or me even trying to be in a relationship. I was literally just trying to be single, and I think it was because, you know, I started talking to you right away after my past relationship. Started talking to him. I didn't give myself I didn't give myself time to like actually get over the situation and do me and like party, get it out of my system, because, you know, I was very sheltered. I had just turned 21 when we got together. Like, it was my time to like go out and party, and I just moved to the Bay Area, which made things completely worse, because I wanted to be out there. And like, and it's crazy because he wasn't stopping me though. Like, he was letting me do whatever the fuck I wanted. Like, he wasn't being like, no, don't go out, I don't want you to be doing this. He was not like that.
But then again, I told her, like, I've always been that way. I feel like,
yeah, he wasn't like that.
Unless you get a reason, like, other than that, I think it's always good to like allow whoever that little with, freedom with your friends at times and stuff, because you need that like outside. Because if you're just so like always with the same thing, like, you don't open up your mind to
and he was always like very good to me in that sense, where he would let me be free and go out and party. So that wasn't the problem. It wasn't that I was like, oh my god, in a relationship and Toxic, he doesn't let me go out. No, like, it was literally, I think, in my mind at that moment, and it literally lasted for like maybe 2 months, that I was like really like, man, I don't know, I'm not happy, I just don't know if I want to be in a relationship, I don't know if this is what I want. And it was just me fucking with myself in my head, like, I don't want to be with this guy. But then another end made me think like, dude, you're stupid. Like, I already knew what I had. I knew that I had a good guy with me. I knew that I had a good man, that I potentially would want a future with him. And I was like, fuck, if I let this go, like, this is it, you know, like, he's not gonna come back, and then I'm gonna go fucking on Instagram and see this guy making some other bitch happy, you know. So I was like, not about to let that happen. So then that's what used to tell me.
She was like, all I was thinking is you with some other girl, and I couldn't see it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna let this happen. Like, I'm not, because I already, you know, when you know, like, if you have a fucking like fuck boy in your life and he's like always cheating on you and being stupid, if you break up with him, you know that you lost. I mean, that they lost, you know what I mean? Like, you know that he was no good, and you can move on, and you could be like, fuck it, whatever, like, you ain't shit, you know. But with him, it was never like that. Like, he was not a bad guy. He was a good guy, treated me good, was so good to me. Like, he wanted a good future for us, and I knew that he was gonna do that no matter what. Like, it wasn't, I don't think it was just like he was like that with me because he loved me. I know that he loves me, but I know that he was genuinely a good guy, and he would have been a good guy with any girl, you know. He would have made any girl happy. Like, I knew that in my head. So I was like, I'm not about to let that happen. It's not gonna be some other bitch gonna be me. So that's when I kind of got into my senses, and I was like, Blanca, you need to realize you have a good guy, and you're probably not, you know, gonna ever find somebody who cares about you the way that he does. And that's when I was like, okay, Blanca, get it together. And I did. And I was like, I'm not gonna let this happen. And after that breakup, I needed that for sure. Because after that, you know, it was a lot better. Like, me just mentally, emotionally, I was just very invested in my relationship at this point. And I'm boring you.
Next.
I'm serious.
Back to the way I was feeling. I was still hurt, you know.
You're fucking dumb. I hate you.
You know when you just hear some bullshit and you just can't not play.
You're dumb.
Oh shit.
I think it's cute because Ulysses loves when I tell him how I feel. He loves it.
So
he's such a hopeless romantic. He's an Aquarius, guys. Get yourself an Aquarius.
We're calm.
Yes, they're
let
calm.
you do everything.
They love, and when
But if
they
you
love,
fuck
they
up-
love. But if you fuck up, and it's true, because I know a lot of Aquariuses, they are, as much as they love, like, they're gonna be like, bye, you know. But I know that it was. I know in my mind that it was good that we went through that, because it opened up my eyes to learn to appreciate shit. And since then, I feel like we never had a breakup again, and we never had like arguments like that. Like, not arguments that led us to a point where I'm like, I don't want to be with you. You know, I always throw shit at him. When I tell him how I feel, I'm always like, I push it to the limit, but he always kind of brings me back down, like, get your shit together, Blanca, and stop arguing over stupid shit. You know, but
because if it was up to her, she'd argue over everything. But
Yeah.
I'm just like picky. Like, I'm not gonna argue with you.
And I'm talking about little arguments, like little stupid shit.
Stuff,
yeah, like not even.
But dude,
big-
we haven't
big
even
things.
had that like in so long. I feel like
An
you know?
argument? Yeah.
It's weird, but
Yeah.
I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, for the most part, I feel like, honestly, when it comes to
The
relationships,
only problems we were having was more like me not really like being home because I was
Yeah.
working a lot, and then that was causing like issues with
Issues
like
at home.
communication. Yeah. But
Yeah.
other than that, like, you know, we addressed it and stuff. So that's all it really takes. I mean, with me, like I said, I'd rather tell her how it is in person.
yeah, and I think that's what works for us too. The fact that we balance each other very well. Like, I feel like me, I speak out of my ass all the time, and I feel I say a lot without thinking. You know, and him, he's always kind of like, you didn't mean that, Blanca, so calm your shit down. You know, he definitely puts me back into a mindset where I'm like, okay, fuck. And then sometimes when I talk and I say something, like, I do regret it after, and I'm like, shit. Communication is like what's important. If you don't talk to the person that you're with or be able to let them know how you feel, then.
And not trying to change the person too. Like, she would for a long time be like, well, you never care about like stuff I do, you never tell me things. So like, I'm like, dude, well, that's the way I am. I'm not gonna like, why do you want to create that into a person, you know? Like, you're creating something that's not there. Like, I'm not gonna just all of a sudden tell you like, hey, what the fuck, don't wear that, or don't do this, I don't want you to go here, so she could think I care. Instead of actually like noticing how I do care about her, she was kind of trying to point out like stuff that she wanted to feel to know that I care about. I told her like, I'm not like that, so don't get that thought in your head. And then you know, there's things that you're gonna have to change. So like, maybe with her, she doesn't like to communicate in person, so like that's something that she's gonna have to change in order for us to be more compatible, you know? Like, so those are little things like that, like whether it's with me, whatever it is, I might have to get better at that.
Like compromising.
Yeah, you have to pretty much compromise. So like, if she's not that good at talking in person, this might be something that she might have to do in order for us to not have problems. And then with me, like,
and you have to be able to want to do it. Like, you can't have a like, I don't give a fuck attitude, because then that's not gonna work either.
yeah, let me just get home and ignore her and act
Yeah.
like it's normal. Like,
And for a long time, that was my form of communication. Like,
yeah, so
I never wanted to talk about anything. So
yeah, so
But yeah, so that's pretty much like what happened. I think everybody was kind of wanting a specific reason. I think they were expecting like a juicy ass story. Oh my god, you're so annoying. Why are you yawning so much? You slept all night.
I don't know. I guess I'm tired.
I'm tired of your dumbass. That's what I'm tired of. Besides Lisa's now, he's a little bit more open to like filming with me. So these videos as far as relationships, I think people really just struggle with trying to make it work.
Well, yeah, everybody's always going to be a different like stages, you know. Everybody has different situations, so we can't like, you can't go off of what we tell you, but at least you could take some of it and apply it wherever it fits.
Yeah, and by all means, we are not perfect. We are not this fairy tale perfect relationship. Like, oh my God, we're always happy or whatever. We do argue. I have an attitude problem. You know, I tell him shit, but we don't get it to the point where it's disrespectful or where we feel like we need to end the relationship or end the marriage because we can't come to an agreement. You know what I mean? I feel like that's important. You have to be able to communicate, get to the point, solve it, and then get over it, you know? But we do argue about little stuff, but it's never been anything worth losing what we have for, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's been good. Can't complain.
Yeah.
Oh,
See,
cute.
we're already on the same page.
But this is gonna be the end of today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed our story time. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and make sure you guys leave nice comments for Elisa so you can keep filming with me. Okay?
See you guys.
I'm a good girl, but I wanna be bad for you. I wanna be bad for you. I wanna be bad.